Hi everyone, I'm Marge.
And I'm Michael, and we are Passport Pillow.
We just want to introduce ourselves to you. We're a retired couple who went from raising kids to chasing sunsets.
And now we're in the middle of a brand new chapter, slowly traveling the world one country at a time.
We're not rushing, we're not ticking off a bucket list. We're living in the places we visit, soaking up the culture, the food, and everyday moments.
And we're doing it all with 2 suitcases, a camera bag, a carry-on, and a dream.
We named this journey Passport Pillows because it's about comfort and movement, the 2 things we always carry.
We raised our family, worked our careers, and for a while travel had to wait.
But now it's our time.
Before we got married, we both traveled, but separately.
I traveled to Germany, Barbados, Jamaica, England, and Canada. And that was in my 20s. At that time, there was no GPS. We just used paper maps and a lot of guesswork.
Yeah, and I also traveled to Europe, specifically Germany, twice.
Then we got married, had kids, and our travel slowed down. We focused on family life.
Well, once our kids went off to college, we looked at each other and thought, why not start again?
Our first empty nester trip was to Portugal, sitting by the cliffs and the Algarve. We felt that travel spark come alive again.
The next year we went back to Portugal again because we couldn't get enough of those tile streets and those cafe mornings.
After that was Morocco. It pushed us outside of our comfort zone, in the best way.
And finally Thailand. That was the moment we said, what if we didn't go back home this time?
What if this was home, wherever we landed?
Okay, so Marge, was there a time when you said, let's do this?
Oh yeah, I remember exactly where. We were actually in Portugal. We were walking out on the beach and the beautiful cliff areas. The sun was warm and the breeze was just right. And I remember turning to you and saying, what if we kept going?
Yeah, you're right. You were ready. Me, not so much. Just the thought of everything that we had to do, selling the house and all that kind of stuff, it was all a little bit intimidating.
It was, but I think we both knew deep down we weren't happy with all the stress of work and everything. I was getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning. I had a 1-hour commute to and from work. And you, at the time, I believe that you were glued to your work computer.
Yeah, between all the business meetings and all the other kind of stuff, it was all a little bit stressful. So it got to a point where I knew that, it is time. It is ready for us to make a change.
True, we'd worked all our lives, we were always busy and always on the go. And I think it was mainly like during COVID when we realized that, people had lost so many loved ones. And we looked at each other and realized that life was so short. So it was like, okay, retirement doesn't have to be an age. It just needs to be a time where you have time enough to enjoy each other and enjoy the rest of your life. And I think that's what helped us to make that decision.
And once we really started talking seriously about it, that's where we decided to go all in. We booked a one-way ticket to Singapore almost a year in advance just so that we could lock in the points.
And once we clicked booked, that was it. There was no turning back.
We spent about 2.5 years planning this shift. We researched, we sold things slowly, we built out a plan, we figured out our finances and imagined what this life would actually look like.
And when the day finally came, boarding that flight, it was exciting.
It was exciting. A little nervous, but yeah, it was exciting. And as we kept walking and dreaming, the plan just came together.
And eventually we packed our bags and sold everything.
And here we are. Now we live on the road full time. We travel with 2 check-in bags, a carry-on, and a camera bag. And we stay in each place for weeks or maybe months.
Before we left, we actually downsized our entire life. We sold our home, our furniture, even the very china that we collected for 30 years.
Yeah, it was a big step, but honestly, letting go of that stuff gave us a kind of freedom that we didn't expect.
We realized that we didn't need much, just each other, some essentials, and the flexibility to live life on our own terms.
And here's something that really surprised us. We flew from New York to Singapore in style and stayed in a lovely hotel, all using points and miles.
Yep, the flight and the hotel were nearly free, just from everyday spending we'd already been doing.
We'd always heard about travel hacking and thought it was complicated. But once we learned the basics, and it became a game changer.
Points and miles helped us with this journey without breaking the bank. We'll definitely be sharing tips in future videos because if we can do it, so can you.
So now we cook at home, we walk local streets, we ride the trains, and we live a life that feels meaningful and peaceful.
We're not sightseeing, we're settling in, we're guests, not tourists.
And that's really the heart of Passport Pillar.
It's a space to share our journey, but more than that, it's about showing what's possible, even after retirement, even after 50. If you think it's too late, it's not.
Because actually, this is the perfect time.
Our channel is a mix of travel stories, slow living, gear reuse, points and miles, strategies, and the ups and downs of this lifestyle.
We're not influencers, we're just a couple of curious people trying to figure it out as we go.
And we'd love to have you along the ride. So please subscribe, like, and share.